Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We are talking specifically about the Detroit Lions in tonight's video. 34-7 Hall of Fame game loss. It's preseason. It's the Hall of Fame game. It's all okay. No starters pretty much played in this football game except maybe Isaac Tesla. But even at that point, so starters, win-loss, like, it just doesn't matter. There are subtleties, especially if you're a Detroit Lions fan, that obviously you're keeping an eye on. All of the rookies, even the backup quarterback position tonight didn't look good. But once again, it's the Hall of Fame game. Like, there were some delay games. There were some quarterbacks calling audibles that would result in the Lions calling. I've got this whoop thing on still. There would be some audibles, and the Lions would have to burn a timeout, and there's just like super subtle stuff like that. I liked watching all of these rookies. Craig Reynolds had a very nice couple of runs as well, and I want to talk about this. It's preseason. I've got this freaking gash, dude. It's literally, honestly, like, I've had a lot of unideal situations in my life. This one's up there. It is up there, but I think the finger is saved. I think the fingertip is saved, but I do have to be very mindful. So I actually even want to say I'm posting this on Will Upton, and I'm also posting this on my Detroit Lions channel because we're making Detroit Lions videos, and I just want to promo the channel, to just be quite honest with you, because we're doing it again. So that's it. We're just going to riff off the dome. I've got my mic here. This thing is so weird. Let's start it off with the good news, all right? And let me kind of go down here. It's a Hall of Fame game, and it's just a Hall of Fame game. Like, honestly, Trey Lance looked pretty cool, and it's not like a Lions fan is actually taking offense. And I'm still working out this damn lighting. We're workshopping this. I'm not a Miami U fan, by the way, and I'm workshopping all this, but I actually kind of like it a lot. Isaac Tesla is a really fascinating wide receiver in the National Football League because he's a member of the Detroit Lions especially. And this is one of those players where I'm sure Lions fans, or I know Lions fans are hyped on him. I know Lions reporters, Lions channels, I'm sure are hyped on him as well. But this is something where you'll like see an influencer, or you'll see ESPN, or honestly they probably wouldn't even talk about Isaac Tesla, but you'll like stumble upon a take on social media, and they'll be like, Isaac Tesla was like the worst draft pick in the entire draft. And it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And I know he only had 3 targets in tonight's football game. He had 2 catches for 46 yards. I posted a couple of videos about it on Twitter and TikTok because his second catch, I believe they were literally back-to-back plays. His second catch, he had the DB on skates, and the guy like dropped down to the ground. That's how good of a route runner he is, in my opinion, and that's how good of a route he ran. But Isaac's one of these guys I am just genuinely so big on. And there's no bias in this. Like, you guys know I'm a Green Bay freaking Packers fan, right? Brad Holmes knows what he's doing. There's a lot of GMs out there. I feel like majority of GMs are not like Brad Holmes. And, like, any pick Brad Holmes makes, I can see the vision. I'll see the vision. I'll believe in the vision. I trust in it. And Isaac Tesla is one of these guys, and he never dropped a pass in college football. And I just want to get this take out there because we've said it in the summer, we've said it, and I just want to continue to reinforce it, that Isaac Tesla is one of these players where if you're a Lions fan, you see it. You understand it, right? You watch the film, you see it. But if you're a casual, NFL, TikToker, or whatever it is, it's like, who the hell is this guy? What was the point of this draft pick? In my opinion, it's going to be one of those that was so obvious that this guy was going to have an impact at the NFL level. It's so obvious he's going to have an impact on the Detroit Lions in his rookie season as a rookie. And I'm just genuinely so excited about this kid. He looked very good. He even had a good rep on, returning or defending the punt. Like, nice little sidestep. He kind of juked the DB, got right past him. This guy's very good. And speaking of guys very good, Dominic Lovett, 7th round draft pick. I love SEC football players. I know it started a little bit bad because it was, I think, on the Lions' first drive. He dropped the catch, and we're workshopping all of this. But he dropped the ball, and unideal. But he finished the game 5 catches for 31 yards, and he had 9 targets. But the dude's a gamer. The dude's a gamer, and I really want him to make the Detroit Lions roster. He's just a gamer, man. I do like him. He's speedy. I think he's got good hands, too. There was another play where he was, caught it kind of by the sidelines, and the DB was poking at it, to force the incompletion, and he held on to the football, and there's just something about that. That's, really the takeaway you see in, obviously, the Hall of Fame game, but even preseason games outside of the starters in general, where you consistently and continuously see these names pop up, and it happens all the preseason, and then they make the roster, and then they start doing it very subtly in the season, because you're a 7th round draft pick. You got a long way to work up the depth chart. This is becoming a thing. But anyways, Dominic Lovett, Isaac Tesla, I'm a very big fan of. If I had to say one thing about a negative, which is weird to talk about even in general with the preseason and the Hall of Fame game, it would be the backup quarterback. And once again, to reinforce and reinstate, it's the Hall of Fame game. So Kyle Allen is a good backup quarterback, in my opinion. Hendon Hooker is also an intriguing quarterback prospect. Kyle Allen went 9 of 14 for 91 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Hendon Hooker barely played, 3 of 6, 18 yards, and that interception, and also took a couple of sacks. He had a rating of 16.7. It looks like that's not very good. I give it the rest of the preseason. I've already seen a couple of Lions fans on Twitter saying, go get Carson Wentz. If Kyle Allen doesn't pan out, if Hendon Hooker doesn't pan out, maybe you can have a comment on who's going to be the actual backup QB. Because this isn't Chicago. This isn't the Chicago Bears where it's the backup quarterback doesn't need to necessarily win games. We can take a risk on a guy like Hendon Hooker. This isn't the 2021 Detroit Lions where it's Hendon Hooker had an interesting career over at the University of Tennessee, so let's give him some run. And if the starting quarterback were to get banged up for a game or two in an extended period of time, God forbid, he's intriguing enough where it's let's give him the run. But when you're a team that's winning 15 games and 12 games the year before, and you're a literal Super Bowl contender, if Jared Goff were to miss a game in Week 15, Week 16, that's for the NFC North tiebreaker, or it's for the number 1 or number 2 position in the NFC Contenders Conference, you want something a little bit reliable. And so that would literally be the only thing I would look at here. I think the Lions had 5 turnovers. I'm going to fact check this because it might have been 4. To be honest with you, this wasn't a very pretty football game. They had 5 turnovers. That punt return, I forget who even dropped it. It might have been Jacoby Keeney James. And then even on the first play of the game, the first play of the NFL season, Grant Stewart loses a fumble on the kick return, and that's unideal. Jabari Small, the running back, fumbled but didn't lose it. I'm not really looking into it because I know that Jacoby isn't, special teams number 1. I do want to say a comment. Sorry, guys. I'm flipping you off right now. It's the most pain in the ass that I've dealt with in a freaking minute, and it just freaking sucks. Ahmed Hassan, Boise State product. I think he's one of them. I think he's one of the ones, in my opinion. He had 4 total tackles, 2 of them are solo. For the Lions channel that I'll pin in the description, and I'll also pin it in the comments, I actually will probably make a whole film study on him, Tesla, Lovett as well, most likely. Some of these reps were really good. And the thing with defensive linemen, defensive edges, whatever it is, even DBs, the stat sheet's not going to tell you the story. We're looking at literal reps here. And Hassanin is one of these guys who's had a lot of hype in Detroit Lions, whether it's, mini camp, whether it's training camp so far. He's one of these guys that's had a lot of hype. I genuinely believe the coaching staff at Boise State knows what they're doing. And I think they do a very good job at evaluating prospects and developing these prospects. I think Hassan's the real deal. I think this is a dude who literally could have an impact in his rookie season, and I think he's got a good future in the NFL and also obviously with the Detroit Lions. Nice to see Ezekiel Turner. I don't mean to rattle any feathers here. Rocky Sin also had a nice game. He had some nice hits as well. I don't mean to ruffle any feathers here. But even with like the first team, second team, the first team bench, it was almost like watching the Detroit Lions game at the end of the season. They had, I think, 12 players on IR when this season ended, which was, I don't know who number one or tied number one was, because they were tied for first in there. I kind of want to do some digging and figure out. Maybe let me know if you know that down below. Ezekiel Turner had a nice game. Anthony Pittman, Dan Jackson, like, it's crazy. O'Connor, it's crazy to see these guys playing in the Hall of Fame game, because it's like, I remember watching the Lions and like a lot of these dudes were like, had to start because of all the injuries on this defense last season. So Nawasaki, I will probably do a deeper film review. I kind of checked out, to be quite honest with you, in the fourth quarter, as far as like, I was more so watching like specific players if they were on the field. 34-7 loss. Trey Lance was pretty cool. I'll probably do a Trey Lance video on the main channel anyways, but this is a Lions video. My point just is, it's the Hall of Fame game. It's preseason, but it's especially the Hall of Fame game. So we'll see the next Lions preseason game. We'll see the game after that, and you'll have a better assessment of things like the backup quarterback. Who is that actually going to be? Who are some of these young defensive players? What's Isaac Tesla? What's Dominic Lovett? What are some of these guys looking like after a couple of preseason games? So, I don't know, dude. I've never been a huge fan of like, well, dude, it's preseason, because it's like, I get that, but you can also watch guys like Tesla and Hassanin and be like, they're going to have good NFL careers. But at the same time, it's also the NFL, or it's the Hall of Fame game. So I got the hiccups. It appears the hiccups are really about to hit right here. It's getting late. Let me know if you like this style of content. Like I said, it's a little bit lazy. I don't want to talk about the finger anymore. I gotta go deal with that. It's neither here nor there. Thank you guys for watching this. I will pin my, used to be Let's Talk Lions, now it's the Lions Den, so I'll put that in the description, in the comment video of this, and I'll be posting this video on both of those two channels, so stay tuned. But especially for preseason and post-game recaps, because you know how the NFL works, like, I can't just show you the highlights of this past game, and the NFL doesn't allow that. So let me know if you like this style of content. It's preseason, just like the Detroit Lions and any other preseason team. You're testing things, and yeah, let me know if you liked it. But thank you guys for watching. Give me all your comments, all of your opinions down below, and we've got a lot of, to be honest with you, Detroit Lions content on the way. So thank you for watching. Peace.